Welcome to Millennial Real Life Budget Review, where we anonymously review a real millennial's budget. Today we are taking a look at a marketing and communications director who brings home $6,000 per month and spends 45% of their income on their mortgage. Let's take a look. Hey guys, it's Justine, your host of the Debt Free Millennials channel. Here we talk about all ways to help you achieve financial confidence, crush debt that leads to more fun and fewer payments. And we do Millennial Real Life Budget Review series. And thank you so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Rocket Money can help you cancel unwanted subscriptions, lower your bills, and manage your money all within one app, but more on that in just a second, because I want to get into this. This is not new, as we've seen in other episodes where there are individuals who spend a large portion of their income on their mortgage payment. So this person is from Fort Worth, Texas, which I feel like Fort Worth, pretty affordable cost of living. Not the cheapest by any means, but also not the highest. They said that the biggest thing they're struggling with financially is feeling financially secure / guilt as a single income homeowner. I did not initially walk into becoming a homeowner on my own, but life happened and I made the decision. Now that I am a homeowner, I absolutely love and value my home, but I know it's technically above the recommended percentage based on my income, especially with the extra $800 temporarily being provided by my sister. We'll get into that in just a second. Their top 2 to 3 financial goals is to 1, pay off consumer debt, 2, a $15,000 emergency fund, and 3, invest. They currently have $2,000 saved in an emergency fund, and then a little extra tidbit they gave me. I am PSLF certified, that's Public Service Loan Forgiveness, and on track to have my student loans forgiven by 2028. I love my job, love my home, so I plan on sticking with both until at least after my loans are forgiven. I have a 2017 Jeep Compass that I paid off last year, yay, and I also plan on keeping it until after my loans are forgiven, smart. Additionally, my sister is living with me temporarily through the summer, so that is where the additional $800 per month is coming in as her contribution. Okay, let's get inside of her budget to see what's going on. So I'm taking a look at this, and actually this budget, it's very simple. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh gosh, you know, there are truly a lot of things listed here, either in the fixed or the fund. So I'm showing a total monthly income of $6,234. She's got a net of $271.92. There are 2 different debts. The Capital One credit card of $81 minimum. Let's take a look at this. 0% APR for 12 months, but after that it raises to 29.99%. I don't know how far she is in the 0% interest term, but let's just say it's starting now and she's got 12 months to pay off the $909. Easy, easy, easy. And then she's got the Mohila loan of $61,532 at 6.8% interest. The minimum payment is $385. Not uncommon. That's pretty common. Let's take a look at the budgeted categories. So the mortgage is $2,465. So I did a quick calculation here just to show, okay, the mortgage divided by the total take-home pay is 39.5%. This includes the $800 contribution from the sister. So if I was to take this out, minus 800, you're looking at a mortgage percentage of 45% of the take-home pay, which is way high. Even with sister's contribution, it's still really high, like way too high for Fort Worth. This would be really, really cutting it close if you were living in a high cost of living area like LA, San Francisco, New York. Ideally, you want that percentage, and I think she already knows this, is between 25 and 35% of your take-home pay. So in order to make sure that this mortgage payment, which you can't change, the $2,465, is 35%, we'll go on the top just because it is what it is, 35%. You'd need to be bringing home over $7,000 to make that happen. So here's how you do that, is you do the $2,465 mortgage payment divided by 35%, 0.35, and I got $7,042. You'd need to be bringing home an extra $800 a month in order to hit that, like $800 on top of the $800 that your sister is already paying you. So that's $1,600 extra income. I don't think that's possible given your current work situation. You mentioned you're a marketing and communications director, but you qualify for PSLF. So that may mean that you're working in some sort of public organization, military, maybe a university, maybe a hospital. Let me know. But the only way that I could see you really increasing your salary and your take-home pay by an extra $1,600 is you gotta get you like jumping to another company potentially. And really getting a big fat promotion out of that. So I just don't know if that's feasible at this point in time, but let's keep going and let me take a look at everything else. So we got kind of your utilities set up. That looks good. Gas looks good. Groceries looks good for if it's truly just you paying your own groceries. $300 looks good. Moo is the dog. I had to look that up. I was like, what is MU? Moo. So it includes a monthly wellness plan, shots, heartworm, farmer's dog subscription is $223, which is paid every other month because it feeds the dog every 6 weeks. Farmer's dog is kind of expensive. I do love the idea of it being fresh food. I don't know if you guys have heard of the ads floating around, especially if you listen to the New Heights show, the podcast with Jason and Travis Kelsey. Farmer's Dog was a sponsor for them. So it sounds good. It sounds like a good deal for the dogs, but holy cow, $223 every other month. So you're paying $110 a month. Okay. Right, guys? Dog owners, chime in. Let us know if we think that's okay for dog food. Eating out, $200, and then all of the subscriptions here. Wow. We've got Hulu, Disney Plus, Spotify, Car Wash, Audible. We've got a lot of different subscriptions. I'm betting that's not all. And if you want to check out what subscriptions you have, including the unwanted ones or the ones, and this has happened to me, tons, of where you get charged an annual subscription that you completely forgot about, Rocket Money is your answer. Rocket Money is an app that can help you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, lower your monthly bills, and manage your money with ease, all within one app. The biggest thing about Rocket Money that I really, really love is finding those unwanted subscriptions that easily connects to your financial accounts. It streamlines all of those subscriptions into one financial view so that you can take a look inside of the app, which subscriptions you have and which ones that you would like to let go of. In fact, Rocket Money has helped its customers save up to $740 in the year by finding those unwanted subscriptions and canceling them. Rocket Money can also negotiate a bill on your behalf. Think about phone bills that start to creep up or internet plans that start to creep up, even though you're paying for the exact same data and you get overcharged for it. Wouldn't it be nice to have your time back, save you time from calling during your workday or calling on the weekends and trying to negotiate this yourself? Let Rocket Money do the work for you. In fact, you can upload a copy of your latest bill and let them negotiate it on your behalf. I call that a triple win. You can keep your internet, but do it at a lower cost, and you didn't have to do it yourself. That's fantastic. Not only can it do bill negotiation and cancel unwanted subscriptions, but you can manage your money inside of the app too. You can take a look at your different spending trends and patterns. It could tell me exactly how many times I had gone to Target in the last few months and help me just stay on top of my spending in general. Get me back to that place of intentional spending versus the habit spending so that I can keep on track with my financial goals. I love utilizing tools like Rocket Money to help me just understand my finances better and know that I'm not wasting my money on really high bills and unwanted subscriptions, and also just taking a look at those spending patterns that helps me get back to a place of spending on the things that I love and cutting out the rest. If you'd like to check out Rocket Money, head over to rocketmoney.com/debtfreemillennials to check it out and download the app. I will leave a link in the description box below. Thank you so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. So I think you could easily just use something like Rocket Money to just make sure we're factoring in all of your subscriptions. And then I see this spending category, personal spending, fun money, clothes, home decor, alcohol of $300. So, I mean, you've got, let's see how much this is. You've got $622 going towards discretionary spending. And then I do see, ooh, I like this down here. So you do have $1,200 going towards the emergency fund now. You did say you had $2,000 currently, and you wanted to build that up to 15. I'm curious why 15? why that is happening. And then you also said consumer debt was your #1 goal that you wanted to do. Also, they've got a home maintenance fund of $215. Love to see that. It looks like an extra $50 towards the dog. Sinking fund for vet bills, medication if needed, boarding if traveling. I love that. Car maintenance, bill payments, car insurance every 6 months, and Mint Mobile every 12 months. I love it. They're a Mint Mobile user, yes, and paying the car insurance premium every 6 months is going to save you money. So this is really smart. They're factoring in a monthly savings payment to themselves, and then when that Mint Mobile subscription renews next year, they've got the money. When the car insurance premium is due in 6 months, they've got the money. So that's really, really smart. And also doing a small little Christmas sinking fund. I love the sinking funds. Okay, let's check out exactly how much you need in the emergency fund, because I think this is going to change. I don't think it's going to be $15,000 yet. Okay, so on your fixed expenses, you're paying about $36.49 per month on just your basic living expenses, your utilities, your mortgage, your groceries, and for the dog. If I'm going to do this times 2, so 2 months of basic living expenses is equal to $7,000, and then 3 months is about $10,000, almost $11,000. So this is your starting point. This is where I really want you to be. You don't even have 1 month of basic living expenses set aside in an emergency fund. I really want you to be building that up to $7,200, like $10,000. I think a $10,000 goal for you is realistic, and then we can work on paying off your consumer debt. So we're gonna actually reorder your financial goals, starting with the starter emergency fund, which is equal to 2 to 3 months of basic living expenses set aside in a high yield savings account. So you want to be looking at Ally, Capital One. I have a whole video on best high yield savings accounts. I will leave a link up to that here in the cards for you to check out. Make sure it's in there so that you are earning interest at least 4%. You've already got $2,000. If I'm gonna, let's just call this $10,000 emergency fund. I like that as a round number. So you've already got the 2. So we need 8 more. You're contributing at a pace of $1,200. That gets you into that emergency fund of $10K in about 7 months. I think you could easily do more. So because you've got a net of $271. So if I did this to, can I do this to maybe $1,450? Yes, and I haven't even changed anything else in your discretionary spending because I still want you to live your life. So 8,000 divided by $1,450. 5 months, so less than 6 months, you could have that starter emergency fund. I don't know if you want to wait that long. If you want to continue to like build the momentum, then you're gonna have to cut some things out of the fund money, or maybe adjust the farmer's dog diet meal plan subscription, the farmer's dog subscription, and maybe cutting that out a little bit and maybe supplementing with something else. I don't know, I'm just picking on that because that was an area that I saw, well, maybe she could reduce. Otherwise, you're gonna have to think about picking up extra income opportunities to really accelerate this. So I'd really like to see this at a 10K, like that's the goal. And then after the 5-6 months is over, which truly is not that long of a period of time, then this would zero out, we would stop, and then we could move money over towards that Capital One card. If you are still in that 12-month grace period of the 0% interest, then this truly does work out in your favor, because you would be paying the $81 for 6 months. So you'd be making minimum payments on the credit card while you're building up your emergency fund. And so during that 6-month period, you'd be putting $486 towards the debt out of 909 minus 486. So you'd have $423 left. You'd pay that off in months 6 or 7 of this journey, right? Okay, so if you're starting now, the next 6 months, going hard, building up that savings account. Stop, redirect. So month 7, you would be putting an extra $423 and just completely paying off Capital One. And then technically, you are done. you are done with the debt, you are done with the emergency fund, and now you can build onto the third financial goal, which you had was investing. And so making sure that you're following the steps for the investing. Also, I know I said stop on the emergency fund. Obviously, you can continue to build that out to a 6-month emergency fund. For you, that's going to be around $22,000. A fully funded emergency fund is equal to 6 months of basic living expenses. If you were to lose your job, if you were to have some sort of medical emergency that has you like out of work for months, this is the cushion that you're falling back on, not on a credit card. Okay, so that's why people build up these emergency funds so high. That's why my partner and I have our emergency fund built up to 6 months of living expenses. Some experts are going to tell you that you can have 9 months or 12 months. Really, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. But I'm telling you, of the people that I've interviewed, and me personally, and what I've learned from other personal finance experts out there, 6 months is definitely the way that you want to trend towards. So you can always, after you pay off Capital One, knowing that you're in PSLF with Mohila, you just leave that $385 there for the next 4 years, and then we're just putting more money in the bank towards that fully funded emergency fund. And we are looking at investing opportunities for you. So when I'm thinking about investing opportunities, I'm always starting with an employer sponsored retirement plan. If you are working at a university, that's probably a 403B. If you are working for another entity like the government, it could be a thrift savings plan or a 401k. Any kind of tax deferred plan is kind of what you're going after and really building to maximize your retirement contributions. So this year, your contribution limit max is $23,000. Sometimes it takes people a long time to build up to that max contribution limit. So take a look at what you're contributing now. If you're contributing 3%, next time you get a raise, can you do 4% or can you jump from 3 to 5%? Any little jumps that you can take whenever you get a raise is always a really great opportunity to continue to max out that retirement plan. So that's kind of step one, especially contributing up to the match. So if you can contribute up to the match to that employer-sponsored retirement plan, keep it at the match. And then if you're eligible for the Roth IRA, and I think you are given your income amounts, I would start maxing out the Roth IRA. I've got a whole explainer video on what a Roth IRA is, but basically you're taxed up front on the dollars you invest into that Roth IRA account. This is a retirement vehicle that you can invest in stocks, bonds, index funds, what have you. And then it grows tax-free. And then when you get to retirement age, you can withdraw that money tax-free because you're taxed up front on the money. This is a great investing account I personally use. It's been a great way to offset the tax deferred accounts that you might have, such as the 401k or traditional IRA is also taxed the same way as a 401k. Roth IRAs are taxed up front. 401ks are taxed on the back end. So that would be kind of step 2 for you. So employer-sponsored retirement plan, then the Roth IRA. And then after you do the match, and after you max out the Roth, then you're going back to the employer plan, maxing out the 401k, we'll call it. And then you can continue to do things like a traditional IRA and max that out. You can then go into a taxable brokerage account. It's a lot, but I think let's just focus on kind of your step 1 is the emergency fund, step 2, debt, then go back and build out the emergency fund, and then you can kind of sprinkle in some of these investing opportunities, starting with that employer-sponsored match. I hope that was helpful. And thank you so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out. If you want to just take a look at what bills you have, what subscriptions you have, just getting an idea of how you're spending money right now would be a really great idea. And there's a budgeting app called Rocket Money that can help you do that. So head over to rocketmoney.com/debtfreemillennials to check them out. I will leave a link in the description box below. If you like this series and you are still interested interested and nosy and want to find out more, be sure to like this video. And if you personally want to have your budget anonymously reviewed on the channel, fill out the Google Forms link below. The more information that you give me, the better advice that I can give you on what next step to take in your financial journey. And I'll catch you in the next one.